Hey folks, here's a coffee time video that I've been meaning to get to for quite a while now. I had actually hoped to get to this one before my birthday, but I'm actually about 4 days late for that because my birthday was actually on the 2nd, so I'm a little late for getting to this before or on my birthday. So I may as well get to it now since I've got a little time. But middle of last month actually, I did a quick bit on my written blog where I said I was gonna try and take stock of what I had on hand for JM tries videos, and then realized that since my birthday was coming up and I like to try and take stock of things in general around this time of year anyway. I figure I may as well just try and uh, you know do all of it at once in one of these. So here I finally am, getting to that. Uh, and in the meantime, I realized that I didn't have quite as much on my shelves as I thought I did. Um, which is a good thing, I suppose, because, I really don't have nearly as much space here in my apartment for things in general as, one might think, because this is it's a small apartment, but it's enough for, one person, which is basically just me, right? But, that does present a few problems with a few things. Well, more than just a few things, really, because, that's where I start running into problems with things because, you know, uh, there's actually quite a lot I need to get taken care of, with life in general, and with, you know, well, life in general, really. Because I have some, health stuff coming up here. Like these glasses here are 3 or 4 years old. They don't quite sit right. Um, and yeah, as you can see, they're not quite square, but that's not just because this, you know, uh, head of mine is not quite set right, but, that's one of the things that's coming up. I've gotten an eye appointment, coming up here in September, but that's probably the most minor thing, um, because like one of the other things I had in July was I went to see my primary care doctor, and when you so like I'm sure most people around my age know, they your doctor will listen to your heart and lungs and all that cool stuff, and I'm not exactly a young guy anymore because my birthday was here on the 2nd. I turned 49, and well, I'm not exactly a thin guy either, because with all that in mind, when my doctor was doing all the heart and lung stuff with the stethoscope, she thought she heard a heart murmur, and so another thing I got coming up in September is an electrocardiogram. Um, so there's some interesting stuff coming up with that. Um, so we'll have to see where all that goes. Um, and that's one of the areas in where I'm starting to, you know, run into problems with it being just me here. I'm not completely alone because for the time being, I've still got my mom around anyway. So she's gonna um, be around to uh, go to that with me. And then there's you know uh, well, I'm just gonna say it's a colonoscopy coming up in November. That I need somebody to like drive and keep an eye on me like for a better part of a day after that, because that's another cool thing about getting older. You gotta deal with that. You need people around, to keep an eye on you for that kind of thing. And well, I mean, I do have friends and acquaintances and relatives around that I could probably turn to. But as far as family around goes, for the time being, it's just my mom in town, and then there's I mean my brother and sister-in-law, or my brother and his wife, but they're in Georgia right now. So but the part of what's got me thinking about all this is the day after I put up that last blog post, I had a 30th class reunion for my high school class. We got to talking about some of this stuff, both what I'm doing here and, health stuff. And, well, I mean, a lot of it's been 3 years since I got out of high school, too, and, none of us are, particularly what you'd call young anymore. And, it's starting to show with a show for a lot of us. And, it's, yeah, I guess I'm starting to wind up in the same boat as a lot of my classmates. And yeah, I'm starting to, regret not, not keeping up more with some of them than I have. Because I am not as close to people as I would, uh, should be, I think, in some cases. But that's a me problem, I think. And, you know, um, but that's, one of the things I need to, deal with. And, you know, like, yeah, but like one of the things they were asking about is, where I find some of the stuff I do for, content on here. And, like, I think I was telling one of the places I found, like the last one I had put up just before then was Menards, but I also find it at the Dollar Tree by where I work. It's the Hy-Vee, which is the local grocery store here. So that's three. Sometimes I go to the Ace Hardware, which is just another hardware store here. But so it's just local places. But it's one of those things where it's. But another thing about taking stock of all this stuff that I'm doing here is and trying to find a you know balance between like my day job, which is how I fund everything from like paying for my rent and food and putting gas in my car and having insurance for everything, and all that cool adult stuff we have to deal with now that we're not young anymore, which I guess none of us are. And making the time to do all this fun internet stuff that I'm doing here, because well, that's the thing about us content creators, I've got a million ideas, as they say, to work with, and there's just as much stuff to learn and figure out to do, and figure out how to make it better than what you just see here, because this is just me doing one. At this point, it's one long 10.5 minute take here. That's just me running my mouth at my webcam here before I put it up, and that's I'd kind of like to learn how to like do more more produced content than what I'm doing here, which is something that takes time. And I'd like to get back into streaming, which is something that is actually one of those stories that I've been meaning to get to for quite some time. And it's one of those things where that is, it's a story, like I said, that's a story I've been meaning to get to for quite a while. But what I will say for now is that's something that I quit doing 10 years ago now, more or less. And part of the reason I gave that up is that the platform I was on got bought out by, I think it was IBM. And they really jacked the price up, put quite a hefty price on it, and pretty much put me out of the market for that. But and it's one of those things where, because it's like I was been saying this whole time, it's just me here, and I just have the one regular income here that I kind of need to work with. So it's trying to find a balance here, which kind of makes things a little difficult to juggle my time to learn how to work with other platforms and all that. So and maintain income to afford everything. But the thing I do find interesting is that there are people who are little, they're still willing to throw a little extra my way here every now and then. And just bringing that up to say that, interestingly enough, it did happen again here recently. Um, just gonna say that it did happen again, and I'd like to, thank the anonymous person who did that. Just like to throw the thanks out there, and acknowledge that it did happen. And that's all the more I'm gonna say about it for now. But it does happen from time to time, which is very much appreciated, because it does help some. Um, Now, from there, but yeah, it's one of those things where I'm still trying to, because it does give me a little space to try and figure things out a little more. But I'm still trying to get things figured out. But I've got some audio stuff I'm trying to figure out, and some writing I'd like to do. But now, hopefully, I'll be able to get to at least some of that before too terribly long. But way things have been going, I'm not necessarily going to make any promises here, because between work and getting turned into kind of a crispy critter at the well, I mean, part of that class reunion thing that I was talking about a bit ago took place took or happened at the local air show, and I got turned into a crispy critter out there, which is part of why I you know took took a while at getting to this. But for now, I think I'm mostly recovered. I think one thing I'm gonna do here is maybe try to do a, written piece, part of this, and, maybe put up at least one, one of the pictures I took of myself shortly after the thing from when I was trying to recover from that. Um, but yeah, I'm still working on, other stuff. But yeah, things are going, they are not as bad as I sometimes think they are. Not as good as I'd like them to be. But that's, you know, life just shy of 50, I guess. Um, so anyway, things are going, and hopefully they are going not as badly as I think, and hopefully I'll be able to keep doing what I'm doing for just a little while longer. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap things up here for now and try to get on with a few other things. And until next time, I will see you when I see you. Hopefully with something that is not quite so long-winded and hopefully maybe a little more interesting than this. But until then, I'll see you when I see you, and hopefully that won't be quite so far off. But until then, have a good hour long, everybody, and I'll talk to you later. See you then.